Welcome back. Here we have the part 3 of the assembly of the Hiller hover heli. Now we will start looking at the tail drive unit, and if you remember in the unboxing we had opened up a packet. So let's start looking at this, and first thing what you need to do is you need to start looking at this entire unit. The tail pitch slider should be extremely smooth on the tail shaft. If it is not smooth, if there is any binding, you need to start opening up piece by piece and check out where the binding is. In fact, I did have some binding here on the tail shaft, and for which what I did was I had to remove this. You can see the grub screw here. I had to remove this, and then I pulled out the entire tail drive unit, or the tail blade holders, including the tail pitch slider, etc. Only the shaft was there. And then I took my Dremel and I moved my Dremel on the tail shaft here just for a few seconds so that it became smooth, and I inserted the tail shaft, the tail pitch slider again, and then it was absolutely smooth. So it's as simple. Remove the grub screw here, and once you do that, this entire thing will come out. There are lots of videos on 450 helis. One we had done similar like this on the Hiller 450 V2 about a few years back. The process is exactly the same. I don't want to sit and repeat this again. If you have the time, please go and search for the Hiller 450 V2 heli assembly done by RC Bazaar itself. So they have it has been stated there very clearly how to smoothen the entire tail drive unit. But for this, also please don't forget there's a manual. In the manual, it is page number, yes, I think it's page number 8. Here it also shows how the entire tail, the tail shaft, how does it comprise of, what all fixes there in this. So it becomes a ready reckoner for you to look at this entire unit. And also importantly is you can also check out on the bell crank system here how it fits. And as I told you, this has been improvised. We have used from Tarot. And finally, but not the least, in page number 9, you can see how the entire tail drive unit, or not the tail drive, the tail blade installation happens across. You've got the tail blade holders, you've got the 2 bearings, and it fixes a screw here. And these screws basically go and fix across in the tail center hub. This is the tail center hub. So it's as simple as this. This part has been changed. This is no more there. So this is the improvised version. So this has been changed. You can just ignore this unit here. So, and also open up each and every screw here and see if it is moving properly. If not, don't tighten it too much, and if there is any kind of plastic or any metal there, just clean it up. So this link or this hinge should be extremely smooth. Same thing across on this. Even this should be extremely smooth. But ultimately, when you start moving this, it should be as smooth as this. I can feel a little bit of friction, that is fine, but as smooth as possible, please try to get this done. And once this is done, you can go ahead and pick up the frame. Here's the frame, and pick up your tail boom. Now, if you look at the tail boom, the branding of Hiller is in both the directions are there, and then you can see on the tail boom there is a kind of a cut here. You can see there is a cut, and this cut will actually go inside the tail boom holder of the frame, and the other side will fix on the tail blade unit, the tail blade hub here. So let us start opening this entire thing and start inserting the belt inside the tail boom. What I do basically is sometimes it becomes extremely tough and becomes a bit daunting to start pushing this here, and it gets stuck in between sometimes. So what I do is I just insert a thread here, and with a nut or a screw tied to the thread, and push it all the way out, and the thread comes out with the nut here, and then take and tie the nut here and just pull the thread. So the tail blade just gets pulled in by the thread. So I will do that right now, and I'll show you how I do it. Maybe you will find a better way to do it also. But let me just set up this entire thing and let me come back. Here we go. I have got a small screw which I have tied a thread. I'm just going to insert the screw here and just pass it across in the tail boom. Here it comes out. So what we do is as simple, just tie this here. Okay, again I'm wasting video time. Give me just a minute. But I think you got the point. So, and we start pulling the thread back in. Here you go. So this is the easier method that I found, that we can pull the tail belt out of the boom. So you just have to cut the thread and we can go ahead and fix this. So let me do this and I'll come back to you again. Here I have inserted it inside the tail boom. I have not tightened it yet. It's just quite loose, and on the other side you have the tail boom coming out. Now don't go ahead and fix this on the frame yet. Let me remove this thread. Sorry about that. Okay. So don't go ahead and fix this in the frame yet, because we need to open this package number 5 Hiller hover, and please remove the tail support unit and also the servos, the tail servo holder from these, and insert them in this fashion. Take the tail support and let it go inside the boom first. Yeah, and then take the tail servo holders and you can slide them in. That's it. And then we can go ahead and proceed to fix the blade and the tail boom inside the frame. Now let us also do one more thing here is, let us go ahead and slightly tighten this, but before we tighten this, we'll have to even fix the vertical fin here. And the vertical fin should be in packet number, here we go, packet number 9. In this you have got a vertical fin. So I'll go open this packet and I'll start fixing the vertical fin right now. So please give me a minute. Another thing which I forgot to mention is what I did to the tail boom where the tail holder unit goes in. I took a small tape, you get one of these small clear tape which is like this. So I just wound about 2 to 3 rounds on this side just to give a little bit more thickness on the tail boom, and I just slid this unit inside. So this becomes much more better in terms of the catchment area. So the entire tail drive or the tail unit will hold the tail boom properly. Sometimes I've seen it tends to slip, so this is what I usually do. And once done, you can, this is the vertical tail film which I picked up from the packet. So we can go ahead and fix this here, and the screws are already here. You can see these screws are here. So we just have to open them, place the screw inside and fix it in this manner. Again, everything is stated in the manual. Page number 9 states it very clearly how this entire thing should be fixed. So I'll suggest you proceed with this. I will also go and fix the vertical tail fin in this manner, and I'll come back to you within a few minutes. I have fixed the vertical fin here, and you can see the way I fixed this as stated in the manual. I fixed a long screw here, and it goes and fixes on this nut and both this way here, and I can see that there is a slight bend. I was not too happy with this kind of a mechanism. I wish they had provided maybe a couple of nuts here so that the tail fin does not bend too much. But maybe they have given it so that this will actually go and collapse on this and hold the tail boom and the entire tail unit firmly. And I can see it is pretty firm. It doesn't even move, even if I have to force it, which is good. Okay, and next is I have also, as I stated earlier, I have installed the belt. Now, importantly, the way to install the belt is also given on page number 8. If you can see here on page number 8, this is the way the belt should be installed, and the belt will actually twist halfway. That means to say, if the belt is fixed here horizontally, it has to come out literally in this way with a kind of a twist. Now, which is the right kind of twist? So what you need to do is you need to twist halfway and find out and check if you can hold the tail boom looking from the top in this fashion here, and you need to turn, or rather pull the tail blade in an anti-clockwise direction. That means to say it is moving in this way, anti-clockwise. Once you pull this anti-clockwise, you should see that this entire tail blade holder should also be moving in a anti-clockwise direction. You can see this is also moving in an anti-clockwise direction. So this is how it should be. The reason being that here is the entire head, and the head actually turns clockwise. You can see this is how it will turn. But this small tail drive unit will turn anti-clockwise, and that is what this blade will go and fit itself in. So important, please be careful that this has to turn anti-clockwise. Let me show it again from the top. Anti-clockwise. And once you turn this anti-clockwise, the entire tail blade should also turn in an anti-clockwise direction. So with this, we can start carefully inserting, and do not forget this should be in place already, which is the tail servo holders, and also the horizontal fin support, and for the support the boom support unit should be here. Otherwise you will have to, and you will end up opening the entire frame again even after fixing it. So it's simple. What you do is do not move the, or do not twist and turn the tail blade, not the tail blade, some tail belt, and slowly start pushing it in. Now this will be quite a tight fit, but that is how it is supposed to be. Yes, you can see that I have pushed almost. I hope you can see in the view here. Here is the belt. The belt will go and fit inside the frame's tail drive unit. So let me push it a little bit more in as much as possible. And it's a little bit tough to show and do this at the same time. Yeah, I think I might have got it now. Yeah, it is seated there. The belt is seated, and let me pull the tail boom back again now. Give me just 1 second, please. Yeah, here you go. It's finished. So the tail belt is in mesh with the frame's tail drive unit here. And this is also done. Now only thing is I need to check is whether the direction what you have fixed is perfectly fine or not. So here we go. Yeah, you can see the head is rotating in a clockwise direction, and with this turning, don't stop turning, this should rotate in an anti-clockwise direction. So this is in this direction, which is perfectly fine. This is how it should be. Then the head here turns in this, literally the clockwise direction on top. So this seems to be fine. We have fixed it. And what you can do is you can start tightening the screws here, and here you can see there's a nut here. Hold it with some kind of a plier and start tightening it, and see to it they're all aligned. That means to say the tail shaft, this tail shaft, let me just move this tail shaft should actually, when you see from the side, it will align with this. So literally, I don't know whether I can, you need to hold. There is also a video done on the Hiller 450 V2. I'll try to post a link on this. how it should get aligned. But what I'm trying to say is, when you see from the back side, when you see from the rear side, the tail shaft should be parallel to the main gear unit. So this unit, this will be parallel to this when you see from the back side. Okay, now with that done, we can go ahead and start tightening this. And also you need to be careful how much of tightening you need to. What you do is just hold one of your pliers or one of hex drives and move the tail belt. See, if it moves almost close to half the way of the tailbone, this is absolutely fine. You just have to go ahead and tighten these screws, and that is it. So you have almost on the verge of finishing assembly of the entire heli now. All right, so let me go ahead and tighten this, and I'll come back to you within a few minutes. All right, guys, here I have almost the entire frame ready here with me. You can see the tail boom has been fixed properly. The nuts have been screwed properly in place. The tail belt has also been fixed properly, and the tension is also fine. And the entire unit seems to be absolutely fine. I've got the tail servo holders here in place. So this almost completes, close to completion of the frame. Now, in package number 5, if I remember right, yes, package number 5, you also got few other items here. This is the anti-rotation bracket. This will go in the front side here. We will come to this later. And the swash, actually it will hold the swash in this manner, and it will go and fit here. We will come to that in a few moments. Plus also you got this tail boom support holders. These, you can see these. So pick that up, and let's start working on that. And if you remember, we also pulled out from the tail boom these 2 support rods. So it's as simple as that. You just need to insert these here in this. Yeah. And the other part will also go inside this. And once it is done, you can see a hole here on the top that will get aligned here to this hole. And then we can go ahead and put a screw on this. So it is quite simple. What I suggest is you do the same thing. It's just a matter of inserting the tail support rods here inside this and push it inside this one end and fix it up here. So let's do that and come back again. And let's start, maybe what will happen within a few minutes, let's complete the entire frame and go to the installation of the ESCs and gyro in a few moments now. Guys, I thought I'll just keep you informed. I had a little bit of a problem in pushing the CF rods into the holders here. So what I did was I went ahead and sanded this part just around this length of the holder. And once you sand it, this is actually sanded, you can just remove the sand marks and then you can start inserting inside. Now it goes quite freely here. So I suggest you do the same thing too if you find that the rod is not going in. And once it goes in, what you can do is you can just take a drop of cyanoacrylate CA, or what you call a super glue, and just put a drop here and it will get fixed permanently. But I don't think so you need to go ahead and fix it permanently, as these are actually fixed by 2 screws. One end of the screw goes here, the other end goes here, and is actually sandwiched. So you don't need to go ahead and permanently screw this entire unit. So this is what I want to tell you, is go ahead and sand this, and once you sand this unit, it will become much more easier to push this inside. It went quite easily inside. And the other unit, where this one which I had stated earlier, yeah, this is the other part of it. You just have to push this in. It goes in very easily now. Let it go all the way in, push it all the way in. Yeah, and then you take this holder and you can start. Yeah, you can take this holder and you can go ahead and fix a screw through here. All right. So here a screw is already fixed, if I'm right. So you just have to go ahead and fix the screw here. So go ahead and do this, and even on this side too, you can go ahead and do this. and then we will fix the horizontal fin in a few moments now. As you can see, I have fixed the tail boom supports already securely, and as I told earlier, I had to sand this carbon fiber rod to insert it in. But and one more thing is, as this is carbon fiber, please be careful. Use precaution when you're sanding it. Let any of the dust of this carbon fiber not get into your lungs. It is quite dangerous, so please be careful. And what I did was I also went ahead and fixed the horizontal fin here. Quite easy. Just fix these two screws on the top. So the heli seems to be done here at a certain level. What we will now do is we will fix the anti-rotation bracket here in this manner, and also we have got the, here you can see the canopy locks. Here this will come here and the other one will come here. Quite easy, again, very clearly stated in the manual. We don't need to burn any video time on this. You just have to place it in this direction. There are two screws here, and go ahead and fix. There are two screws here, as you can see, and go ahead and fix the two screws in this direction. And once done, what we will do is you can actually slide the bearing through this anti-rotation bracket and go ahead and fix it here. And same thing happens across on this canopy locks. This will go here. You just have to open the screw, and the other, you've got two canopy locks. Here they are, both of them. One will go in this direction, the other one going in this direction. I'm not going to fix the canopy locks right now because there's still a lot of work to be done. It will start hindering my hands and it will start coming across in between a lot of wires. So I'll keep this aside for the time being. I will go ahead and fix this. And once done, let us fix the flybar paddles with the weights here. We'll just take a measurement, and let's finish the entire heli right now and go across with the electronic setup in a few moments. I fixed the anti-rotation bracket here and by these two screws. But just for information, in the kit or the packet that I received, I just had one screw which was fixed here. This screw I did not have, and for which I went ahead and opened up a package number 11. In this I had some two screws, or one of the plastic screws which has got a coarse thread and the one a machine thread. But these fitted perfectly fine, so I placed one screw here, I placed one screw here. If you are not able to get this, you can pick up this 1.5 mm screws from any of your local hardware stores. So go ahead and fix this. So this fixes and finishes the entire head here. And now coming to the fly bar, what we need to do is we need to see that the distance from this corner to this fly bar should be equal to this corner to this corner. So that means that this part should be equal to this part. So what you do is just go ahead and slightly loosen the grub screws here, which is holding the fly bar rod, and pick up a scale or a vernier if you have, just to measure this too. You don't have to be too accurate about it, but be as close as possible. I've got a vernier here with me, so I will just proceed and take the measurement of one of these and just see if I am able to get the same measurement here. So this is the one that I have here. Oh, okay, it is almost same, just a slight push might, no, this is exactly the same, I can see. So this is equal to this one, so we don't have to worry about much. For me, I got this. If not, what you do is you just push and pull. You just have to push and pull this up and get two equal distances. Once you do that, you can go ahead and tighten the grub screws, which I will do now. And then I will take this fly bar weights and I will insert the fly bar weights and also equate the distance in between, half of the distance here, half of the distance, and fix both the fly bar weights equidistant. Yeah, so let's do that and we'll come back in a few minutes.